Hey YouTube, welcome to me casa and welcome to me gym. This is Strength Camp, the home edition. This is where I train when I don't feel like going to Strength Camp, don't feel like going anywhere else. And I've got just enough equipment to get everything I need to get done today to get a super chest pump. Chest day, Monday. Let me go over all the wondrous benefits of having a home gym. Number one, my kids are home from school right now, it's summertime, and we don't have to send them to babysitters or to camp. I get to hang out here while Colleen does all her errands. You know, I'm an at-home dad. I like to think I'm the dad of the new age. Work from home, be a dad, caretaker, caregiver, homemaker, and dollar maker, entrepreneur. All right, so today we're hitting up chest, beginning with dumbbell bench press, changing things up a little bit. You know, I was experimenting a little bit with those other routines, and I might throw a little bit more of that high rep stuff back in there, but man, I just gotta go with my intuition and my gut and maybe my ego too on this, where it just feels better to go a bit heavier. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm hitting some pyramids for the next few weeks. That means I start moderate, build up to a heavy, and then do a rep out set. We're gonna do that for chest today, back tomorrow. I'm doing a 4-day split, so I'd have arms that third day and then legs that fourth day. Whoa! Those of you guys have been watching me train in my house for the past few months, train in my garage, you probably heard all that clicking that was going on in my elbow several months ago, all gone. So I'm doing this, feeling a lot better. I don't know what resolves that clicking, but I can tell you by focusing and concentrating on the entire rep, conscious bodybuilding, I'm starting to recruit muscles that may have been laying dormant since my injury, and so that imbalance seems to be resolving itself. Some eights, let me see. See how that feels. Keeping the rest intervals kind of short right now. Whoop, this was cracking. Uh-oh. I like that. Right into my high rep set. Yeah, dumbbells at home. You know, like a lot of guys spend a lot of money on entertainment items, you know, big TVs and video games, and all kinds of other things. But when we moved in here, first thing I bought was iron. Lots of iron. So when I started this program, I started taking creatine again because creatine works. But I went to my structural energetic therapist last week, and he just has this immaculate capacity to assess, and he knows things without me even saying it. He started working on my head, and he was like, he said, are you taking something different? Because you got a lot of fluid retention in your skull. I'm like, yeah. He didn't even ask what it was. He said it's creating a byproduct that's causing fluid retention. I was like, fuck, yeah, it's creatine. That's what creatine does. Thing is, we want the fluid retention in our muscle, and he was explaining how it was affecting the cerebral spinal fluid somehow. You know, and I take his word for it. He's intuitive and he's super intelligent. So backing off the creatine. Didn't take creatine this week. Definitely could feel, I'm pretty sure I'll feel the difference because I do feel it when I do use it. But hey, am I gonna give up my brain for some biceps? Nah. I get it with bodybuilding. I get it with powerlifting, strongman, sports in general, any sports. When we train our body in this particular way, we give up something in order to gain. So I guess we gotta ask ourselves, like, what's it worth? Some things are not worth giving up. I notice a lot of guys on YouTube, I'm not gonna say who were juicing, but they stopped because they woke up and they realized shit ain't worth it. Big muscles for a fucked up liver? No thanks. Men are conditioned this way, but there's a particular type of us that are self-sacrificial, meaning like no fear. And we're willing to just give shit. We're willing to die. This is the kamikaze mindset. We're willing to fucking die for the thing that we want or for what we got our mindset on. Like when you play football or when I played football and I was that wedge breaker, like I didn't care if my body blew the fuck up, much less get a concussion. If I die, then let it be. I die with a helmet on my head, right? It's a good way to go. That kind of mentality reeks of male disposability, which is a concept I've been learning more about as I've been exploring red pill awareness and started reading this book called Boys in Crisis. And, you know, it was cool for us early in our evolution. It was proper for us early in our evolution to be self-sacrificial because when we sacrifice ourselves in that way as warriors, we protect our society or we feed our family. Now that type of self-sacrifice, although it's still deep-rooted in our consciousness and layers and generations of karma have brought us here, do we really need to be that way? Maybe, maybe not. I ask you, YouTube, what's it worth? Yes. All right. All right. Damn. Here's a little trick I figured out for those of you guys who have muscular imbalances, injuries on one side, or whatever the case may be. Granted that your nervous system is lined up. Watch old Yo Elliott videos to know what I'm talking about. Atlas check. But when you're doing these exercises, I figured out, not that this is a genius breakthrough, but when I remind myself of it, it's very effective. Squeeze harder on the weaker hand. While I was doing that, I'm starting to feel weak and tired. Part of the reason why I'm feeling weak and tired is because there's an imbalanced load on my body, so my nervous system is fatiguing quicker. The minute I start squeezing that right hand, I was able to get 5 more reps. Magic. Here's an exercise I learned recently. I did it the other day, and I liked it. So I'm here squeezing these 2 plates together, keeping my chest activated, keep the pecs activated, and I press out. Oh, I like it. So a lot of you guys notice that I drive an electric car, a Tesla, The reason why I bought a Tesla is not because it was the first car in my mind when I said I needed a car. In fact, the car I was driving before was like a 2006 Nissan Beater, I think they call it. But when I got the solar panels on my house that feed those batteries to put power in my whole house, I discovered that if I get this thing right here, I could plug my car into the sun. So I'm riding on sunshine. I'm riding on sun rays when I'm driving my car. And to me, that's the most fascinating part of it, was just the mere fact that I'm driving my car on sun rays. While the rest of the world is fighting over dead organic material in the earth, I'm riding on sunshine. It's never ending. It's an unlimited source. The only way that's going to stop is if the sun explodes. And if the sun explodes or goes away, we got a bigger problem. Whew. Yeah, I just refused to buy a car that I'll have to put gas in when I get all this sun power. We become so afraid of the fucking sun, right? I watched a YouTube video, not saying that it's true, but it's a wild concept to consider when you put two and two together and use your own intuition, that all this sunglasses, which I already know destroys our sight, that's why I stopped wearing them, and sunblock and shit like that, and this sun fear that we have is a part of what's making us sick. We come from the sun. How could we be afraid of the sun? How could we be afraid of life? That's really what it is. We're afraid of life. But we've been conditioned that way. So if you listen to this right now and you're saying, oh, Elliot, you crazy, that's okay. I might be crazy, but you're brainwashed, right? I don't need your sun in church. I got my sun every day when it rises. I am the sun. Overhead pressing. This is one of those exercises that expose core weakness. And I'm feeling it right now. So instead of seated, I'm going to do standing next. See if I could pull my pelvis up underneath me a little bit so I don't hyperextend. Using a bench is a good way to eliminate the need to stabilize with your core. I was thinking about doing that, but I used the bench already for two other exercises. So I want to get a little core activation. Another thing about being an at-home dad, which is critically important for children working at home, is that children get to see what their father does. If you read the book Iron John, he talks about the suspicion that grows unconsciously in the hearts of young men when they can't see the work that their father does. They either can't develop the respect for their father because their father's not home and their father's not teaching them something or showing them something to be proud of, or they grow suspicious because we live in a world that's suspicious of men. So suspicious that daddy's out there doing something wrong, you see? So by me working in a home, or by the dad of the future, what I hope all of you would aspire to, being an at-home working father, the children get to see the pattern, get to see how you are, how you behave, and what you do on a daily basis. So whether or not my kids end up lifting, it's neither here nor there, but they know daddy lifts. And they know that they can come in here right now, see daddy lift, be with daddy while he's lifting, or lift with daddy while he's lifting, right? I see a lot of my old strongman friends. Strongmen get this because they have odd objects they put in their houses. And I see them training with their kids, man. Warms my heart. You don't have to leave the house you shouldn't leave your house. They say every man's house is his castle, right? Why should we leave our castle? Every man, that's a bullshit American dream, pipe dream that they give us. Every man's house is his castle. No, it's not. Because if you got to leave your castle to make shit happen and you're never in your castle to show your kids how a king be, then it's not your castle. Pow! Yeah. Men's empowerment is what's next. You know, I'm grateful for and I see the value in all the women's empowerment that's been happening since World War II. It's created an imbalance that needs to be so that reconstruction can come about. But what's next is male empowerment, men empowerment. And I think it has a lot to do with men coming back to their castles, taking care of their families, building communities. We are the leaders. But yet, we give all of our power to those we vote for. What's up, dude? Just talking about boys. Talking about us. You know, being the living example rather than having to tell your children what to do or how to be is one of the advantages, you know what I mean? Like, so for example, if I wasn't here and I come home and my son isn't the way I want him to be, there's an underlying sense of guilt that makes a lot of parents want to force their kids to be something so they could ultimately live vicariously through them. So instead of them being at their children on their level when they come home and respecting them for who they are, they come home and they're like, why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? How could you be more like this? Why don't you, why don't you, why don't you, why don't you? But then it's like, who the hell are you? You're not even home all day. I'm at school with middle-aged women teachers. All the men I see is Homer Simpson and the Fortnite dude. And you come home and you gonna tell me how to be? I don't have to tell my kid how to be. He could be however he wants to be. When he's looking for a pattern or he's looking for an example, you've seen me. You know what I do. You know who I am. If you need a little support, just peek on over my way. The past few generations, there has been a tremendous shift from muscle to microchip. And that basically means muscle is what? Superficial. You could see what somebody does. When your dad is a farmer, you see what he does. When your dad is building and breaking down shit, you see what he does. He's working with his hands, working with his muscle. Mechanic, you know, whatever. To this movement to microchips and technology and mind work. So a lot of the work that we end up, that our parents that work with their hands ended up hoping their children would aspire to are more microchip type jobs and shit. So I remember my dad did the best he could. He grew up in the jungle and he came and ended up in New York City, Brooklyn, and raised us. And all he said my whole life as he busted his ass to us was, I want you to be better than me. I don't want you to have to work the way I'm working. I don't want you to do what I do, you see? It was a different mindset. And I respected that. I'm happy for that. My dad didn't go to college. Those opportunities weren't available. You come to America, the land of opportunity. It's part of the reason why I get mad when people knock America. A lot of you guys that knock America is because you're spoiled fucking brats and you don't realize what it's like in other countries. I went back to my father's country last summer and I saw the cinder block hut I would have probably been born in and lived in amongst the potholes in the street and stray dogs running around and shit. I'm grateful for the fact that my grandfather sacrificed to come to America so that there could be an opportunity so that maybe we could move from the realm of the muscle to the realm of the microchip. We're just seeing a certain type of different experience now with the internet and the opportunity for entrepreneurship. More entrepreneurs now than ever before. We're building a generation of entrepreneurs. Back in the day, to be an entrepreneur, you had to have the resources, railroad tracks and land and shit like that. And you needed lots and lots of labor, right? The future is not gonna be that way. We could build our muscles and work on our microchips. Big shout and a thank you to all you guys who have been giving me advice on calf training. You know, quite frankly, I've never trained my calves, never even really thought about it. And clearly I was doing it all wrong with all that heavy bouncing. So I'm practicing here, getting that good stretch. I heard a 3-count stretch at the bottom's good, and then pause at the top. Whoa, and I can feel a cramp. Hey YouTube, I just want to say thank you for joining me today in this workout, and I'll see you next time.